Bruce Palmer.
Radio's original car guy, Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, was born to bring you great music. With a personal collection of more than 60,000 tunes and a garage packed with a dozen classic vehicles, he really loves what he's doing. And it's obvious in the enthusiasm he brings to his show every day.
Bruce Palmer.
B101, all oldies, all the time. Bruce Palmer, that's me, and I know the oldies. Here's Bo. You don't know Diddley. 101 Cruisin' Bruce, 6 o'clock means it's top 6 at 6 time. B101, all oldies, all the time. Hey, what are all those arms and legs doing laying on the ground?
On request, Saturday night.
This is Frank from East Providence.
Cruisin' Frank, what can I do for you?
I seen you at Heritage Days.
Yeah?
I was going to write a letter.
Uh-huh.
I want you to know that you're a credit to your radio station. And I'd like to hear Twilight Time from the Platters.
Well, you know how it works, I see. You butter up the DJ, and then you get your song.
My special guest is Jay Leno. Jay, good afternoon and welcome.
Young Bruce, what's going on?
Palmer. B101, nothing but oldies. So, Fats Domino. Hey, now that the price of gasoline's going through the roof, what are you doing about it?
790, True Oldies, proud to be a part of the Providence Skyline.
Special guest this evening, the man who's appearing tomorrow night at the Warwick Musical Theater. What a great show it's going to be, Gene Pitney. Gene, it's a delight to have you with us on All Request Saturday night tonight.
Been at the Warwick Theater before. It's a beautiful place.
Curiosity has landed on Mars. Got our first video yesterday. Today, first audio returns from the Red Planet, where apparently the locals think Curiosity's arrival is a bit of a letdown.
Where's the kaboom?
All right. Ow! The Wicked Wilson Pickett. Land of 1,000 dances. On the beat. Hum it for us, Frank. Sounds pretty good. He's a human kazoo. All oldies B101. That's about it for me, Bruce Palmer.
And there's more rock and roll just the way you love it. We're the heart of Motown, soul, and rock and roll.
Still cruising after all of these years. Come on, let's cruise it down.
I think we got the whole shift in there. That's good. Rhode Island Radio Hall of Fame, class of 2016, Bruce Palmer.
Now, I was originally told 50 minutes, and I misunderstood. We were going to do this with an intermission. We changed our mind. When I got the call a couple of months ago that this was going to happen, after I got over the shock, I started thinking about what kind of legacy I might leave. I started thinking about the things that I've said on the air. What have I spent the most time talking about? What have I spent the most time saying? And I thought about it, and I realized I think the phrase I've uttered on the air the most is the classic "see store for details." And then there's my favorite, tax and title extra. Honestly, the time I've spent in this market is something I cherish. I miss the fact that I'm not here now. I like to believe one day it may even happen again. But I was working down on the coast of southern Connecticut back in the late 80s, and my newsman came in, a guy by the name of Bill Haberman. That should be a familiar name. Billy and I, we were both working at this little station. Neither of us had much recognition, but he comes in and he says, "Hey, you know, a new radio station just went on the air in Providence, and I play that old stuff that you like." I said, all right. So I went out and I sat in the car and listened to the radio station in the parking lot because I didn't want my management to see me listening to another station. I liked what I heard. I called the station, asked for the program director, and I was told, oh, he's in a meeting. He can't talk to you right now, but if you leave your number, he'll call you back. Yeah, I knew that would happen. And about an hour later, that guy did call me back, and I got a chance to come up and interview. They didn't have any positions open. A week later, there was a position open. I got a chance to come in and do overnights in Providence. That lasted about 4 months. I moved into the evenings and then into the afternoon another 4 months later and spent about 15 years doing afternoons on B101, which was a great, great time. While I was there, some of the crazy things I got involved in, and there's nobody in this room that hasn't been involved in odd radio promotions, like spending 48 hours locked in a block of ice at a car dealership. Or like when they decided to do the first car show with the radio station, we were doing it at the Warwick Musical Theater. This was in the later 90s. And we'd never done one before. And they said, how many cars do you think will come? And I said, oh, man, maybe 50 or 60. We got like 700, and we closed down Route 2. The police weren't real happy with us. But it just showed that radio had power then, and it has power now. Now, after the time I spent in Providence, obviously I've moved on. I'm working in nearby Massachusetts now. But what I've carried with me is how important it is to make a connection. That's why I got into the business. I wasn't looking for celebrity or fame. God knows I wasn't looking for money. So now I have a chance to talk with a whole new group of people, but I can look back at all the years I've spent doing shows on the air, especially All Request Saturday Night, 15 years of talking to people every Saturday night, getting to know them almost like a bartender on the air, for heaven's sake. It's why I got started, and it's why I still love doing it. So my plan is to stick around for a little while longer, but there are a couple of people I really should thank. The first group really would be the listeners, because I know in corporate radio today it seems to be about the stockholder. But when you're on the air, it's about the people that are listening. They help put me where I am, and I am indebted to my listeners as long as there is time. The Rhode Island Radio Board I'd like to thank for their kindness and their brief lack of good judgment to put me in the hall. I'd also like to thank two people, one who could not be here because we lost him some time back, and that was my first general manager in Providence. That was late Scott Backerman. Scott Backerman was a guy I loved working with. We lost him about 15 years ago, but I'd go back to work for him in a heartbeat if I could. But the other guy is here, and I don't know where he is now, but he knows who he is, and that's my first program director in the marketplace, John Morgan. Where are you, Johnny? Stand up. Come on, John Morgan. There he is. John Morgan. He knew when to give me a little line to let me loose, and then he knew when to reel me back in, and he helped make me who I am now, for better or for worse. So, John, for that, I'm indebted. And the last group of people I really need to thank is a trio of people, 3 ladies, and that's my wife and my 2 daughters, because they put up with an awful lot of absentee fathering over the years. Everybody here knows when you're in radio knows no time. You have to be there when you have to be there, and there were a lot of years that I wasn't home. I missed a lot of recitals and plays and softball games, and I can't count how many holiday dinners I had out of a cardboard box in front of a microphone. Those were times that I regret, and I'm going to try to make up for them as I move forward, but thanks so much to my family for letting me get here tonight. I'll leave you with the words of one of the greatest radio broadcasters we ever knew, the great Arthur Carlson, who once said, "God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly." The fact that I'm here tonight is proof. Thank you.